How's it going this week? It's just me this week. We're going to do it the right way, by myself, like I always do. Well, I had I had gas last week. I probably did, but I also had a guest last week, my sister Kenzie. Episode 74 was great. It was amazing. I love having guests. I love talking to somebody else because I'm always in here doing this by myself, and it's nice to have somebody that's willing to participate in the activities that I'm providing as far as the conversation goes. You know what I mean? I think it's real nice that we just talk to people because we get so caught up in the online world and you forget what people sound like. You forget what people look like because all the filters. Because the gyms are open back up, and you see them people in there looking themselves in the mirror while they're trying to sneak a photo. You know, if somebody has their phone tilted up like this, and they got the phone pointed at the mirror, they're sneaking a photo that they're going to later add filters to. That's what you got to be careful of. And it's just a crazy world out there. But I'm glad the gyms are backing up. Backing up? What? Back it up and dump it? Isn't that a rap song? I don't know, but I know what is a rap song. This fire beat that's going to later be known as my intro for this episode. What am I even talking about today? I don't know, man. It's late. I bet you thought I wasn't gonna post this episode today, did you? You thought I forgot? Huh? But you 11 now. I saw that I have 11. Oh my god. I don't even know what I do with my life half the time. Who knows what they're doing with their life half the time? I don't know, man. Are we doing the best that we can? It's just, you know what I realized, man, with this whole pandemic and this whole Black Lives Matter, which is, of course, Black Lives Matter. And it's crazy to me that in 2020 we still have to say that. How frustrating is it that we have to put it out there that Black Lives Matter? And be like, and people have the nerve to say, well, all lives matter. That's not the point. The point is that all lives matter. They do matter. But why are we failing the Black Lives Matter part of that? It's like, all lives matter, but like, there's a hierarchy to how lives matter. Like white's supposed to be up there and black's supposed to be down here. That's the way that society looks at it. And then like, what is it, like systematic racism? You look into that. That's insane. It's because slavery was abolished in like 1865, right? Am I making that up? I don't know. I'm not a really historian when it comes to facts, but I do know that when slavery was abolished, that's when they came up with the police system because they thought they needed some kind of, you got to have something. Now we got to watch out. That's just crazy to me. It's just, but also it's that cop who had his knee on George Floyd for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, which is insane that you could do that to another human with the authority. It's like the whole idea of bouncers. It's like, how you run into those bouncers. They're just full of themselves. And it's not all of them. We know that. It's not all of them. But some bouncers, you just hit the wrong night. And you're like, hey, man, chill. You're letting all these ladies in here. I can't help that I was born a male. And now you want to let 6 females in front of me? Well, I got to show up in a thong to get in the bar? Huh? Let's even the playing field. And then at the moment something happens in a bar that a guy is associated with, they're thrown out. They are the ones that are, and you know those bouncers that provoke people. Oh, they're just, some of them just waiting on something to jump off. It's like, that's the whole reason they get in the job. Which I think it's like in the police system and the bars and stuff like that, it's those type of jobs that you can't have bad people in. I worked at Captain D's. I was a terrible employee for a while, for a long time. I was a terrible employee when I worked for Captain D's. But they can afford that loss. But because I dropped some fish on the floor, I threw it back in the grease, let it sit for about 15 seconds in the grease, burn off all that bacteria. I don't know if that worked, but that's what I did. Let's be honest. That's what I did. But like when it comes to the police system, you can't have bad apples. You can't. Now that's a hard thing to manage because how do you know? What are you gonna do? A psychological background on them? Could you? Could you go through their 3,700 tweets between 2018 and 2020 to figure out what the fuck's going on? I don't know. I'm not the guy to talk to about that. But I do know, like, this is the whole idea of why I think that I have to be a better person. Because if you don't think that you can be that cop, what that cop was to George Floyd, if you don't think you can be, maybe not on that level, but at some level, if you don't think you can be that in someone's life, I think you got another thing coming. If you're just running around here, doing whatever you want, treating people however you want, it's going to catch up to you, and maybe in a terrible fucking way. When people are just malicious in that manner and they get away with it for so long, and then they do something so terrible as what that cop did, right? And then now there's looting and rioting and all that and the peaceful protesting, which is awesome. But hey, what do you expect? What do you expect? Like, what do you expect? You can only be pushed for so long until you break. I'm not a feline fan, a cat. They call it felines, right? But I wouldn't back one in a corner because I would not want to see what it would do to me. I might win. I don't know what's going to happen, but I wouldn't want to chance it. You got to give them a route out of the way. You know what I mean? You can't just back a cat in the corner and expect it not to freak out. It's like, hey, what the hell was that? You going to back me in a corner and expect me not to claw my way out of this? That's what cats do. They don't want to. But hey, you push them in the corner, they're ready to fight when it's time. And then you're going to be mad when you leave the room all scratched up, your arms all tore up from this cat. Now you're mad. Can't push people that far. But I'm saying this, we got to do better at taking care of ourselves so that you can't lash out like this, man. You got to take care of yourself. And if you're one of those people, I'm just going on a rant today, right? It's Rant Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Monday. Oh, duh. I'm posting the podcast. It's hella late. I know. But it's just like that mentality of like, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to do this. I want to be better. I want to do this. But you don't actually take the step. And I'm not saying that I'm any better than fucking anybody in this world. Don't get that twisted. I know I'm not. But I'm just saying, like, that's why I hate social media. Social media is especially when you know the person and then you see them posting, oh, this and that and the third. And you're like, what? That is nothing that you ever told me that you believe in at all. You're saying, oh, I'm just going to grind and do this and do this. But you're not doing shit. You know what I mean? You're not doing anything. It's like, it's such a fucking fabrication of our world that the online portrays to us. It's like, it's all fucking fake. Right? Not all of it, but a majority of it is just, it's like how people hide behind their social media. It's like now we live in a world where we have two different worlds, right? You have your self, your actual physical self, and then you have this thing, this created thing, this man-made thing that was created so that you could cast yourself out there to the world, and you're portraying an image of yourself. And you can enhance it, which is fascinating. You can enhance your own self online. Isn't that crazy? I could post a photo online of me at the gym. All I gotta do is a couple enhancements. Look better. Look at me, dog. Look at me. Where the ladies at? It's just, and then you finally meet up one time with one of these people. They're like, hey, who the hell are you? You do not look like what I thought you did. That's why you got to be careful, man, when it comes to online. Be careful what you say and what you post, in the sense that one day somebody might figure out your truth. And if you're not being honest, that's when people are like, hey, whoa, chill. It's just the whole idea of it fascinates me when you talk to another man and he's like saying this and that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. Then they post shit about how they're so fucking great and how they're going to do this to expose someone else, and I'm saying like I'm gonna better myself so that you will have to reap the loss of me doing better in life. It's just you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Now I understand if you are doing something and you are trying to do better in life, but if you're just saying shit, if I just walk in Walmart and say, hey, aisle 7 needs to be swept right now. And people are looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? He don't even work here. I don't even work at Walmart. They're like, this guy's a lunatic. This guy's out of his mind. He's not even associated with us at all. And he's in here trying to tell us what to do. I'm just so fascinated by the human in the sense that we could just fucking go online and portray ourselves to be better than we are. If you're a cokehead, hey, listen, I've never been a cokehead. I'm sure it's fun. Let's be honest. I'm sure it's a hell of a fucking time. But if you're that and you go online and act like you're not, dude, if you're a cokehead, be a fucking cokehead. That's all I'm saying. Sink into who you are. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say is, like, we got to do better. We can't just go out there and say, hey, Black Lives Matter. We know that. I mean, we, of course, and we have to say that, which is terrible, but go out there and fucking live it. Just, that's the only thing that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to live my truth online and in my physical world. When you see me in person, I want you to be like, that's the same guy that posted that. What? That's the same guy who he is on YouTube or whatever he posted on Instagram. Because that's why I don't like, I won't say never, but I'm not a fan of posting like what I truly think and look like and all. Like, I don't want to post a fucking photo of myself saying, oh, y'all ain't out here getting it like me. That's what makes me mad too, is people out there saying that we're not working hard enough. They put a post online saying you aren't working hard enough. Just because I don't post it doesn't mean I'm not working just as hard as you. You know? It's like, hey man, why is it that we have to put an image out there that we're doing the most? When you're not. That's all I'm saying is, if I in the wrong here, you know, if I make it any sense. But the whole idea of this is, do better for yourself so that you don't become a malicious person in someone else's life. Because you know, just as well as I do, you can be a bad person. And you have to take care of it now. Because if you don't take care of it now, you'll be that cop in 20 years. Maybe, and like I said earlier, maybe not to that extent of killing an unarmed black guy that has 4 guys on his back and 1 on his neck. And then the little dude that was sitting in front of him with his hands in his pockets. That's outrageous. It's such a hard video to watch. It's just like we're out here treating people like this. It's insane. Oh man, it's just blows my mind that you can just not like somebody for how they were born. That's just that whole concept fascinates me. It's like, oh, they're across the Ohio River. We don't fuck with them. Okay. And you can control that better than being black, because you can move across the Ohio River. You can't. What are you gonna do? Like, you can't. Everybody in the world can't do like Michael Jackson and lighten his skin. You can't do that, and not everybody wants to. Why would you want to? You know, being black's a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with it. And it's just crazy that you cannot like somebody because how they were born. If a one-armed man showed up to your crib and was like, man, I was born without an arm, you wouldn't be like, you don't get out of my house. Could you please leave? I only associate with 2-armed humans around here. She's like, we can't run around treating people like this. You got to be careful. You got to be real careful, because if you don't think that you have a bad bone in your fucking body, you might be a bad person. It's the whole idea of be dangerous in a good way. Because if you don't pay attention to your surroundings and what you're doing and what you got going on in your mind, you might one day get caught up in a situation and you might react the wrong way. You know, you might show up to a stoplight, another car shows up next to you. Somebody shows up behind them, gets out, tries to rob them, and you might participate in the robbery and be like, you know what? While they're getting robbed, let me get something out of that. Let me get something out of that. Was it that ox cord? Let me get that ox cord off you. I don't have nothing. I don't have a gun or nothing. But hey, just let me get that ox cord while he has the gun pointed at you. And it's just, or you could be like, hey man, fuck off. Or you could call the cops. You could do something in a good way. That's all I'm trying to say is that if you don't look around and see the people that you're around and how you're associated with them. What's that old saying? You're most like the 5 people you hang around with, and that's like mentally, physically, and financially, every aspect of your life. Look at your buddies. How are they doing? Huh? How are they doing? And that's what, like, I was talking to a friend the other day, and it's just like, dude, you're not like. It's just talking to him. I'm just like, dude, you go online saying how you're doing the most more than anybody, and then you're saying this to me, and I know that it's not true. I know it's not true. It fucking fascinates me in a sense because it's like, how could? Also, what level can you trust a human? It's like, how can you trust a guy that's cheating on his girlfriend, his significant other? I said that nice. How can you trust him, right? Especially if they've been together a long time and he's out there cheating on her and stuff. You got to look at that and say, like, how can I trust this man with me and my feelings and all this if he doesn't even put her at a higher level, or him, whatever. You could be gay, anything. It's just, it's universal. This statement is universal, okay? Don't attack me for that one. But I'm saying, just as a man talking to another man, knowing that he's cheating on his significant other, it's kind of like, I got to back up off this one. You know why? Because those are the people that you can't really fully trust. Because if you see in front of your face that he is doing wrong to somebody he's supposed to care about, right? Why the fuck would he care about you? Right? It's the whole idea of if somebody treats their mother terrible, or their father, or their sister or brother, why would they treat you good? I mean, it's just it's kind of that simple to me, It's crazy out here right now. 2020. This is the vision I did not have. 2020 was supposed to be my year, dude. Now, January 1st, 2001, you know what I'm going to be saying? It's my year. Once again, I'm going to say it. That's what I do. Every year, it's my year. It's my year. Stamp it. Everything's been going good. I've been in a great mood today, and I have a terrible way. I don't know why. Like, when I'm having a good day, it's like part of me wants to sabotage it. It's like, hey, dude, who the fuck you think you are? You think you deserve a good day? Dude, if people could hear how I talk to myself, I would never talk to another human the way I talk to myself on the inside. It's a good thing, I guess. I mean, it motivates me to do shit, but also it's sometimes like, hey, man, could you chill? So what? I wanted some golden Oreos, man. Chill out. These Reese's are hitting. What is that sweet tea, that Twin Oaks, whatever it is? Sweet Oaks? It's not Sweet Oaks. I don't know what it is. Pico de Mayo? I don't know, man. I don't know, but I want to have another guest on in a couple weeks. I hope. I'm gonna try to get my buddy Piles on in here and do some work. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. I just have one story that I'm gonna bring up. I doubt he watches this anyways, but there's a story we'd be in math class and the teacher would be like, hey, what's 40 plus 20? And he would yell out. He wouldn't even raise his hand. He'd be like, 60. What was the question? What was the question? 60. What was what? I didn't hear the question. And he would get it right. It's like, he's just yelling stuff out. And then it's a smart move, because if he's wrong, he'd be like, oh, I didn't hear. I thought you said 40 plus 10. I thought you said 40 plus 20, and you said 40 plus 10. But then they're like, I did say 40 plus 20. He's like, well, then it's 60, so I'm right. I would never have the level of confidence to just blurt out an answer because I always assume that I'm wrong. I always assume. Luckily, I have Google on my side because you could ask me, like, what's the capital of Kentucky? And I'm like, what is the capital of Kentucky? I'll be like, okay, I think it's Frankfurt. But then I'll Google it, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, it was Frankfurt. I knew that. And then, of course, I got it right. But it's like, why couldn't I just pull that one out, man? You know, it's second guessing my knowledge, which is a good thing for me because your boy has got some reading to do. Speaking of reading, I had to take a back seat, or my reading had to take a back seat, and I'm just working too much. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do all this junk, man. Junk man. Yeah, that's me. Dude, shout out, Davis. One funny dude right there. One funny guy. But hey, Black Lives Matter. They sure do. Just like all lives. But let's get Black Lives Matter, or let's get Black Lives up there with all lives. You know what I mean? You know. If all game consoles matter, why does the game keep getting shut out of this equation? Okay. All right. Y'all have a great night, because that's what y'all do, right? Do whatever you do, but don't let the door hit you on the way out.